Came up from Mansfield today. We're heading into Whitfield, but we've stopped Powers Lookout. We're going to head and have a look at Whitfield. This is Powers Lookout. Harry Power, bushranger, used this as a hidey hole and a lookout for the police. He was caught here in 1870, I think it said. Stormy night in 1870, got captured up here. But he used this as a hideout.
He taught Ned Kelly.
He taught Ned Kelly all his bushman skills. There you go.
He spent 30 of his 72 years in jail.
30 of 72 years in jail, and he was in Pentridge and he met Ned Kelly's uncle Thomas and John Lloyd, who then introduced young Ned Kelly to him. He taught...
Back then in 1819 you would be sentenced for 7 years in jail for stealing a pair of shoes.
There you go. Knock off a pair of shoes and you'll go to jail for 7 years.
Bit different these days, they only get that for murder now.
So there's two lookouts here. You've got lookout number 1, and that's a 25-minute return. And just across here is lookout number 2. We'll just do lookout number 2 because it's 3 in the afternoon. We want to get back to the van before dark. Powers Lookout, just outside of Whitfield. It was first a reserve in 1886 and it covers 1,100 hectares. And this was the spot he used to sit up and watch for the police to come through the bush, and then he'd scamper into the bush and make a run for it and get away for it. He was called the Gentleman's Bush Ranger. Old Harry Powers. Let's have a look at the view. So basically we're located now. I'm just trying to find this map. That's all the different mountains. But it's all part of links into the Alpine National Park. So we're in the top of it, near Paradise Falls, Little Falls, Wabonga Plateau. But you go through King Valley, brings you out greater up near Glen Rowan that way, and the National Parkway you'd come out Mount Skeen, Mount Hotham, Booyong, Kosciuszko, and to bring you up into North Australian Capital Territory,
Tumut,
up into Tumut, Kosciuszko, Kankabaan, and out to Albury.
And that's the Story River National.
But we're kind of down this section here. So we came down this mountain range from the lookout down into the town of Whitfield. Whitfield's only got a service station, there's not much to it anymore, been bypassed. But this is Lake Hovell Dam. This is essentially King River, Snowy Mountains National Park straight across, or the Alpine National Park, whichever way you want to call it. And we did see, coming out of Whitfield, a sign for the Longspur Trail, or Longspur Track. So that'll take you from behind the dam, or the other side of that hill of the dam. Longspur Track takes you over that mountain and it takes you into the Victorian High Country. It's a great drive. We're not going to do it obviously, but you know. Anyway, this is Lake Hovell Dam, just outside of Whitfield, on the edges of the Alpine National Park and the gateway to the Victorian High Country. Coming this way over those hills is the Victorian High Country. Mansfield, just above Narelle on the other side of the hills, Mansfield, that's where we're staying, that's where we're heading again. We've got to go back there again, obviously tonight. But yes, this is a major dam of the King River. You can hear it in the background there. And it's open for recreational purposes. You can fish. I hear there's brown trout in there. A couple of people on a kayak, person swimming. Yes, King River, the mighty King River they call this, which cuts through the high country, the Victorian High Country. If you ever go to Craig's Hut, and then you go down from Craig's Hut, you go into Pineapple Flat. You're actually crossing the King River to get into the Pineapple Flat campground, which can be obtained from this direction if you do Kingsburg Trail or Kingsburg Track. It'll take you a couple of days to get there. Nonetheless, you'll be crossing the Kings River. And this is where it is dammed up and used for water. Water for the towns, powers, etc. Right, we'll wind our way back to Mansfield or to Bonnie Doon. Got a little day out after work. Not a little bad experience actually. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe and like button, and hit the follow on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. And of course our Facebook pages. Thanks for watching. Right, so this is the view from Harry Powell's lookout number 2. So he would have, back in the 1870s, sat up here and he was keeping his eyes out for the police coming to get him. And I reckon during the winter months he would have been seeing white tops across on those hills, because it would have snowed up here. Down there I think is the town or the outskirts of Whitfield, which we'll go and have a quick look at. But this that right opposite is the beginning of the Alpine National Park, and that becomes Victorian High Country as it sort of goes southwest that way. So down that area to our right off, you can't see it on the camera, but right off to the right of the camera, that way, not in camera shot, is going to be, you know, Mount Buffalo, Craig's Hut, all the iconic Victorian high country stuff. But that across there is Alpine National Park, and that blends into become the Victorian high country. And this, like I said, would be white in snow, I think, in winter. That's lookout number 2. The lookout number 1's a half an hour there, half an hour back walk. We haven't got time this afternoon for. We'll go and see the town of Whitfield, because it's been said that Whitfield's quite a pretty old town, so we'll go and have a look at that.